Hey, it's Adam at Burble Guitars, and just finished doing a little bit of work on a customer's guitar, and I thought it might be worthwhile sharing the experience that I had. I mostly work on electric guitars. I don't work a lot on acoustic guitars, but I enjoy refretting them and I enjoy playing them. One of the things that happened recently was a customer brought in their guitar, and they were complaining about a couple of things. The first thing they were complaining about was buzzing on the D string, all the way up from the nut to about the 5th fret. It was buzzing, fret buzz, and then nothing above that. It was rather interesting. The other thing he said was that the G string was a bit dead, and especially, and I noticed something when I was playing it. I noticed that when I plucked the 4th fret on the G string, what I noticed was that the initial note, it would ring and then stop very, very, very quickly. The after effect of the note being played through the guitar body, it was still resonating a little bit, but that initial note died off very, very, very quickly. It was really interesting. It didn't do it on the 5th fret, didn't do it on the 3rd fret, it only did it on the 4th fret. And I thought, okay, well, the fret, I'll get onto that in a little bit. Anyway, the other thing, the other issue we had was that he just felt the sustain was just not great. And he was a little bit worried because he really just had it done, but there were these little issues that he was looking at. I had a chat with, because I had a really good look at the guitar and I couldn't see myself anything wrong with it, and I had a chat with a friend of mine who's a local luthier and well renowned, and we really looked it over. The frets looked like they were in very good condition. The frets looked well seated. It's a guitar he's had for a good while. The nut was in brilliant. The nut was in great condition. The height was excellent to the 1st fret. It wasn't going sharp. It was just playing beautifully. Well, as we're saying, it wasn't playing beautifully, but it was right. The height was right. The saddle was right. Everything looked good. However, we did notice that it was using, or the customer had used, these nylon strings that have the ball end on them, and we thought that could it be the strings? Could it be the strings? The customer was very worried. The customer thought it may have needed a refret, or it might have needed the nut recut, or work done on the saddle. It was quite worried. It was going to be an expensive job, and as I said, we were having a difficult time trying to find a physical problem with the guitar. And it came down to these, and it really did actually come down to these strings. Now, I don't know what brand of string these are. They have a ball end on the end of all of the strings. So what I did today was took the strings off, replaced them with a set of the Ernie Ball clear silver nylon strings. I sell Ernie Ball strings, obviously, so had I been selling D'Addario strings, I would have put some D'Addarios on there. I just happened to sell Ernie Ball strings, but I just wanted to demonstrate something that happened. When we put the strings on, the first thing I noticed was that when you put on a set of nylon strings that don't have a ball end, you need to wrap the string. Keep an eye on this, I haven't tidied this up yet. Okay, but you have to wrap the string around about 3 times, and then the tension holds it down. Now, there's actually a lot more mass in the back now, and a lot more string contact on the bridge itself, whereas before the only contact was happening here at the saddle, at that point, and then at the tension point here where the ball was being held on. Now, with the strings wound around the back block here of just there of the bridge, there's a lot more contact of the string on the bridge, and that's that's improved the sustain to my ear. And I'm going to play a couple of things for you. Now, I am letting the strings settle, so you may not be completely in tune. You don't want to sit here watching me tune up the guitar. Alright, now this is the first issue that the customer had, was the D string. No fret buzz. The fret buzz is gone. That's the first thing that we've solved just by changing the strings. The second thing that he was concerned about was the fact that there was no sustain on the G string. The G string was dying very quickly, especially at the 4th fret. So the first thing I did was, once we had it tuned, strung up, tuned to pitch, beautiful, beautiful. That initial note is hanging in the air and then dropping off and working beautifully with the sustain from the body of the guitar. Look at that, gorgeous. 5th, 3rd, and open. Problem solved. All we had to do was change the strings and put a good quality set of strings on the guitar. So the next time you have problems with your guitar sustain, with fret buzz, have a look at what strings you're using. Maybe if you are using a better quality set of strings, you might find that things work out a little bit better for you. You may not need necessarily to take it to someone like me to get it fixed, unless of course you want me to change the strings for you. That's another story. But it feels good, because at the end of the day he saved himself a good deal of money. We haven't had to work on the guitar as such. We haven't had to play with the nut or the frets or the saddle, and it's playing beautifully. So yay. It's Adam at Burble Guitars. Go and get yourself some good strings. Bye.